Hello, I'm Dr. Harper. This video is in Supply Chain Analytics, BANA 6730 for the fall 2021, and this is the syllabus. So let's bring up the syllabus. And so in the syllabus, the course is active between Monday, August 23rd to Saturday, December 18th. And I want to emphasize, the first thing I want to emphasize is everything must be done before Saturday, December 18th. Everything must be submitted. Nothing is considered after December 18th, the end of the course. The class sessions are on Monday, and so I have a weekly design beginning Monday. Here's the dates on Monday, and then on Sunday is when the homework is due. And so, for example, for the first topic here, inventory, homework 1 is due. Okay, so the first class period is syllabus, course overview. I'll review the first half of the course, which is looking at the different characteristics. And then we take an exam on that. And then the second half is different type of supply chains. And there's where we get into how you design supply chains and also the different characteristics within supply chains. We'll take an exam on that. And then we have project presentations at the end of the course. And these project presentations are Word, I'm a PDF file document, but also a presentation within in the class. But we'll get to that in detail in the syllabus. Here's the required textbook, Simchi Levy, and Kaminsky, and and here's the grading. Okay, so in this video, I just want to go through some of the policies and procedures, and what I do in this video, I'll go into more depth on this first class session on Monday, on August 23rd. Okay, so first of all, the grading is on a percentage scale, and it's based solely on the percentage of grade measured performance. And what I mean by grade measured performance is however many points you earn of the 9 homework assignments, 2 exams, a project over here, divide by the total possible points. That's a percentage, and that percentage is compared to the letter grade. And notice there's no plus minus grades in here. It's just A, B, C, D, F. And 0.5% is rounded up. So when you get an 89.5%, that's rounded up to a 90%, which is an A. If you get 89.4% or 89.49, that's rounded down to 89, which is a B. And that rounding is not only for grades, it's for homework, it's for any type of calculations in this course. This is first a brief summary. Homework assignments are designed for learning. And you'll see I go in more depth, I go breadth and depth, and also for you to generate things. So that's designed for learning. Exams are designed for evaluation. And what I mean by that is I don't use exams to learn. I use exams to evaluate what you know. Therefore, I try to ask you things you know, not things you don't know. And each exam is 20 multiple choice questions, 1 point per question, and 60 minutes. The project is designed to conduct independent research on a topic related to the course, and we'll get more into that in this syllabus. Video resources available through Canvas. Now, there will be video resources available online, but when I say through Canvas, Canvas will have links, and those links will go to my website and my YouTube channel that I've generated different types of videos. I don't have them in the syllabus, because that's really external to the university. It's my personal website. But we can link to those as we get into the course, because I do cover a number of things in more detail. Okay, synchronous physical office hours on Monday and Wednesday, 2 to 3 p.m. And there's my office. Synchronous virtual office hours through Zoom, Monday and Wednesday at 11 a.m. at the link provided in Canvas. And I'll only wait for about 15 minutes for students to join. And so even though they're called office hours, I will be there 4 hours if students come. If students don't come, I don't stay there for hours. I will wait for 15 minutes. If no one comes, and I leave. So I'm interpreting office hours as I'll be there for more than an hour if people are there, but I won't be waiting for people. Asynchronous communications will between Q&A, question and answer links in Canvas under each topic. Okay, let's go into more detail. First, This is the course description in the catalog. Here's the course material again, and Canvas is required. And now this is an in-class course. It's a lecture course, and everything is done online except for the exams. And so the exams, you have to be in person to take the exam. The lectures are not Zoomed. The lectures are only in class, and that's all. But there will be video to support the lectures. Okay, and so Canvas is where everything is downloaded and uploaded. So nothing is turned in class except for the exam. I have a course summary here, and here's the first half of the course. That's the chapters in the textbook. And here are the emphases. Here's what I will emphasize as we go through in each one of these. Now, the second half of the course, there is nothing in the textbook for this. These are more my notes. And in addition to the supply chains, I will look at these different characteristics over here. A lean supply chain, green supply chain, resilient, responsive, smart supply chain, the analytics within the supply chain, and sustainability within these types of supply chains. Okay, policies and procedures. First of all, the policies and procedures of the syllabus will be followed in this course and applies to every student. So often I have students say, well, could you please do this and this and that? I says, no, because that's not the course. And so I will stick to the policies in this course and apply the policies to every student. I do that for two main reasons. One, for those students who think or who want, maybe not overtly, but they just say, wait a minute, could you do this? And why can't you do this? And I want you to do this. And that's going to violate my policy. I won't do that. But the second kind of student is the people who do follow the policy, who do follow the rules. You should know that I'm not going to violate the rules for someone else. So everyone will be treated equally. Okay. Course structure. The course contains online material. You'll see on my website, reading material, homework assignments, exams, and a project. Again, I've already mentioned course grade is based solely on your performance. Here's the rounding that I've talked about. The answers and points earned. This is important. A lot of people look at Canvas, oh, I have a 90%. No, you have 90% of maybe one part of what you've turned in. Be very, very careful. Whatever you turn in, if you don't turn something in, you get a 0. Canvas doesn't necessarily count that. I do. Okay, and I've asked them to take out those percentages, but they can't do that. They won't do that. So the idea is that look at what you've done or haven't done, divide by the total possible points. That percentage, there's where your grade is based. So be very careful with that. On the other hand, the course grade at the end of the course will not be posted on Canvas. It'll be reported to the registrar. Nothing is accepted or considered after the end of the course. Again, I repeat that. Communication. Now, collaboration, which is communication between students, between people, is encouraged throughout the course. I want to emphasize that. Except for exams and the composition of written assignments, which includes the project. So, and sometimes I'll have written assignments within the homework. So the point is that collaborate, learn, ask, okay? And that's what the Q&A is for. Down here, the Q&A, that's what that's for. Each student is responsible to submit work based on their understanding and ability. In other words, don't submit what someone else says, understand it, and then submit what you understand. Although collaboration is encouraged, it is not required. Lack of collaboration does not eliminate a student's responsibility to submit work when due. Now, the communication between students is through something called Q&A, question and answer, link in Canvas. And the Q&A link in Canvas is for discussion between students, to ask questions, ask material, and we'll get into the Canvas here in just a second. I'll show you. And I will visit Q&A and the Q&A links on each of the topics. I'll visit them and see if there's anything at the end of the week, see if there's anything that I need to contribute, see if people are saying things wrong I need to correct before you submit things on Sunday night. Okay. For this semester, I will be available during, before, and after class for questions, like office hours. I will also be available during physical office hours and during virtual office hours with Zoom. So there's 3 ways to do it: during class, my office hours, and Zoom. Office hours are drop-in with no appointment needed, and the information will be on Canvas. Canvas messaging or email are less efficient and much less reliable modes of communication. Take care to use these communication modes only when necessary. And I want to emphasize that because a lot of times if you email me, sometimes it doesn't get to me. There's more than one Mike Harper here. Sometimes it gets in my junk mail. Sometimes it gets embedded and I don't ever see it. And I miss it or I skip it somehow. So be very, very careful if you need it. If communication concerning the course material, that should be directed between Q&A, then the class sees it and I will see it. But should email be necessary for personal communication, then use that email address and make sure you say this is BANA 6730. Okay, so now I think it's time to bring up Canvas to show you where these things are. So here's Canvas on the face page, and here's this welcome video. Hopefully everyone has seen this. Here's the syllabus, and notice blue is live, black is not live. And this video is what I'm making right now, and this will be live right here. Here's the communication link for Zoom. Here's the in-person office hours, and here's the Q&A for each topic. For example, the first topic here, beginning August 30th. You click this, and notice I'm going to have word definition. That's the lecture. Sometimes I'll have Excels in there as well. And sometimes I'll have a video or a link to a video, and then your homework. So you click this, you download the homework, you have the questions. Use the Q&A link. If I click the Q&A link, it's going to go to question and answer, discussion. And I'll read these things, and I will, at the end of the week, every week, I'll look at the discussion and see if there's anything I need to contribute. Okay? And then go back to the module. And then down to here, once you have all the answers, do not open the link until you have all your answers to submit. And right there, you click that, then you submit the answers. And then after Sunday, that's on Sunday night, then on Monday, then the homework answers, that will be live, and you can get your homework answers in. Okay? So and they'll do that for each of these modules. Logistics, relationships, information strategy. Then we take an exam. And this exam, you'll have a study guide, which I'll do in class. I'll also have it here. I'll also have a video. Okay? And then you take the exam in class. Okay, and then the same thing with commodity, with the types of supply chain down here, an exam, and your project instructions at the end. And notice the project instructions will have a Q&A on the projects, because on the projects, people can collaborate, can work together, and I'll talk about that more here in just a second. Okay, and then down here, these are resources provided by UCD. They've asked me to put these in, and so I did. Okay, and so there's Canvas. Okay, homework. Homework questions will be available in Canvas in a Word file, and I've already showed you that. And so the procedure is you download the questions and you have them in a Word file. You obtain the answers. You get the answers to each one, and then you submit the homework through Canvas. And so no late homework is accepted. Answers to the homework posted on Canvas after the due date. And that's why there's no late accepted, because as soon as it's due, boom, I post all the answers. And you can't answer it after you have all the answers. Homework assignments are designed for learning the material covered in the course. Homework assignments can include a combination of multiple choice questions, discussion questions, or requests. Now this paragraph right here is important because this shows how the procedure to go through and how to submit your homework. Download the questions. Obtain your answers. Only when all the answers are ready to submit all the answers only once through Canvas. And each student is responsible to submit answers correctly, completely, and on time. Answers may be submitted only once. And once you begin submission, you only have 60 minutes to put everything in. It's more than enough time. And a lot of them are multiple choice, bing, 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 like A, B, B, A, B. And some of them you upload a file, and so you upload something. But usually people are all ready. If they do this the right way, they have all your answers all ready to go, and then you click it and submit it. They're done in 3 or 4 minutes. But all the answers must be submitted on or before the due date and time for the assignment. The due date and time are strictly enforced by Canvas. So 1, you can submit it yourself. 2, once the 60 minutes is up, it's going to submit it, and it's submitted whether you want to or not. 3, the due date and time, 11:59 p.m. Sunday night, it's due. And whether you want to or not, it's submitted, and that's your submission. So if you don't submit it, if you don't put anything in there and it submits and you have 0, you get a 0. And that's why no late assignments are accepted. And that's why this is important. So be very careful you follow the procedures. Canvas will not allow submission after the due date and time, even during the 60-minute window. So there's a priority. Even though you have 60 minutes left, if you click submit, it submits it. Even though you have 60 minutes left, if it's 11:59 p.m., boom, it's submitted. Okay, the entire assignment must be submitted on or before the due date and time indicated. No late assignments accepted. Assignments not submitted have a grade of 0, and the answer to the assignments will be posted online. Collaboration is encouraged to aid in learning, but not required. Although collaboration is encouraged, students are expected to perform their own work. The homework assignments are intended to be an introduction to the material and not a complete coverage of the material. Exams. Exams given in this course will be designed for evaluation. Exam study guides for each exam will be available to prepare for the exam. Each exam may be taken only once. There'll be multiple choice, open book, open notes, and timed during class. No collaboration is allowed. Collaboration is cheating. No communication devices, etc. No sharing of material or equipment is allowed. You can't pass things around. If academic dishonesty occurs on an exam, the student will receive a 0 for the exam. Any incident will be reported as academic dishonesty. No exam will result in a 0 for the exam. No work accepted after the end of the course. Now, for this semester, exams are designed to be taken in class. What do I mean by designed? The course is designed to have in-class exams. I do not have a design to allow the exams to be taken online. The in-class exam must be taken on the date and time scheduled. Answers to the in-class exam will be handed back during the next class meeting. If the in-class exam is not taken, then a makeup exam must be taken before the end of the course. Otherwise, you have a 0. The 0 stands because there's no incomplete grades in this course. Projects. Each student is required to conduct independent research on a topic based on material related to the course. Now, the deliverables for each of the student will be an individual report and a presentation. The individual report will be submitted as a PDF. The presentation will be based on PowerPoint slides. Guidelines for the project topic are: 1, a topic related to the course. Now, that's a pretty big, broad area. It can be all different kinds of things. And I give you some suggestions when we get closer to the project. 2, a topic beyond this course that was not specifically covered in this course, such as going deeper than the level of rigor or going broader than the techniques in this course. What I mean by number 2 is what I do not want is someone to take my lecture and redo it. Do something that I don't do in this course. Because all I'm doing is doing a foundation. I'm doing an introduction. So you can take this and go deeper, broader, you can apply it, this kind of thing. 3, an appropriate case study of the material in the course. Now you can apply it. Apply it to an actual case study. And there's a lot of them out there. And that's a very good project. And the project grade for the student will be 20% on the video presentation. Well, that should just be presentation. On the presentation, and 80% on the individual report. Okay, I'm getting to the video presentation in a minute. But the presentation is in class. The original composed individual report shall demonstrate a student's knowledge of the research and an ability to effectively communicate the knowledge appropriate to a business professional. Now, the emphasis here is it's not an academic paper, it's in academia, but you're reporting it to a business professional. How would you report this to your colleagues, or someone, to your manager, or to a vice president, or a C-level suite? How would you present it in that way? You don't teach. Don't teach executives. Don't teach business people. You present. Each individual report must be unique. So even though people can work together, but each person must do their own report, and they can't do the same reports. You can help each other, but each individual report must be professionally composed with an introduction, main body, conclusion, references, and each person does it themselves. They can get help, but it's going to be your work. Although no literary structure is required, a suggested length of the report is more than 2 pages, including graphs and tables, but a length that follows the guideline of succinct but adequate. And that's my favorite saying, succinct but adequate. Don't be saying things too long. Don't be saying too much. Be very, very succinct, but long enough to be adequate. Don't give me 3 words. That's not adequate. Don't give me 10 pages. That's probably too long. Be very succinct. Say what you need to say and move on. That's business communication. The length must be enough to adequately present your work. Length can be considered negative if too long, and content is not significant. Submit the completed individual project reports through Canvas as a PDF on or before the due date and time. Each report may only be submitted once, may only be submitted as a complete report, and it must be submitted by the due date and time. A report not submitted has a grade of 0. No late reports accepted, so be very careful. Submit your report in this format. You have your title up here, but then say individual project report submitted by, and your name, date, and then down here is your content, and then you start your report. So no cover page. Do not use a cover page. Have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines, and then the 7th line you start your report. Okay, now the project presentation must not be a detailed account of your research, but a summary of the significant findings from your research designed as an executive summary. Now, some people have trouble with this. You're in a university, you're in a class, you're in a school, you're in a course, you go, okay, this is a class project. It is, but this report is a business report because you're in a business school, and so you're doing it as if you are reporting in a business environment as an executive summary. In other words, must not be a detailed account of your research. So when people start listing everything that they did, I'll count off. Says, no, you're not going to get that 20%. The presentation should be limited to approximately 2 minutes or less. And I've had students say, oh, I can't really give a report. I can't give my report in 2 minutes. And I says, that's the whole point. The presentation is not giving your report. That's the written part. The presentation is the highlights of what you do. So tell me, what's the report on? Oh, it's on this, this, and this, and this. That's your presentation. As a warning, specifically do not read your report as your presentation or cover detail in your report in your presentation. Consider your PowerPoint-based audio-video project presentation as a deliverable of this course for future use. Okay. Now, for this semester, each student may elect to perform the entire project alone or be part of a small project team. If a project team is used, the team may select a topic based on material related to the course. Although the team will research the same topic, each student must submit a report on an individual aspect of the topic, where no 2 students report or present the same material. So you have a topic, but each student reports something a little bit different. It's not the same material. Topics may be selected from a list I will provide from my website. Now, the project presentations will be in class. However, for this semester, a project presentation may be submitted as a video in MP4 format through Canvas at the student's discretion in lieu of or in addition to the in-class presentation. So you have the option to do that if you want to for the presentation. The reason I do that, it's the end of the semester. Sometimes people have trouble getting there, they can't be there, or they miss it. Fine, just make a video. And I'll give helps on how to make videos. Okay, at the end of this course here, general policies. Again, nothing is considered after the end of the course. All assignments are through Canvas. Each assignment not received when due has a grade of 0. Late assignments are not accepted. Be very careful with that. Grades will be posted online during the course. Final course grades are submitted through the registrar and not on Canvas. No corrections to the grade will be considered after the end of the course. Okay, one thing I want to mention here. I don't put it in the syllabus because I don't want it to be a formal policy, because then people will abuse it. But let me just say, all assignments are submitted through Canvas. But what happens if Canvas is down? There's no late assignments. So if you don't turn it in, you get a 0, but you've done the work. So how do you get it to me if you can't go through Canvas? That's just one source. That's just one link, one channel. Well, email it to me. And if I get an email or a Canvas message that's date and time stamped, and I know it's on time, it's not late, I'll accept it. It says, okay, you've done the work. There's the time and date. It's not late. I'm not going to accept it if it's late. But if I get it some way, then I'll accept it and I'll consider it, and it'll no problem. Okay, so that's one thing. So that due date time is critical. Okay, the mode of submission, I can allow different modes of communication, different modes of submission. But the date and time, that's strict. So be careful. Again, academic dishonesty. In the event academic dishonesty occurs on an assignment or an exam, the work will receive a grade of 0. Any incident of academic dishonesty may be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee of the Business School at the CU Denver for further action. Now, conduct. Now, I have 4 different links of conduct here, which are important. Okay, first, this first link is a code of conduct. And this code of conduct really applies to students, faculty, staff, visitors, anybody on campus. Next, university information, procedures, and policies that govern the university environment can be found here. This is a human resource policies. And this link, instead of listing all of them, go to this link, and if there's a problem and you want to read about it, this link will open up human resource type policies. The third one is FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. By law, we can only allow certain people, to see the work that's being done, your grade, even to know that you're in the class. So someone calls up your friend, your neighbor, your roommate, your uncle, your mom, your dad, your brother, sister, your employer. No, I'm not going to give you that information. And people have gotten mad, but we are required by law not to give that information out except to the person. So if you want them to have it, you give it to them yourself. Any current or potential indications of violations of verbal or physical disruption or intimidations can be reported to the CARE team, Campus Assessment, Response, and Evaluation Team. Now, this CARE team, if there's a problem, if there's an obvious problem, report it, and they're going to come in and assess it. If there's a potential problem that you feel uncomfortable about, you can report it. They'll help you or they'll help other people. Or if you just have a pattern that's happening, conversations that are not good conversations that could escalate. So they're just going to assess these things. They're not coming in and actually, it's a university resource to assess and respond and evaluate what's happening and support and help to move to the right direction. Any incident of violent or disruptive behavior, and by the way, this behavior could be verbal or physical, and all that has happened to me over the years, can be reported to the Internal Affairs Committee. Conduct also includes etiquette that is respectful to all people, to the facilities, and to the institution. Commitment expectations. Taking this course represents your commitment to perform the work and perform the work when it's due. Faculty policies have stated that classes in the business school should require of their students a workload in class and out of class that enhances quality education and is consistent with the amount of academic credit. This course requires work due on a regular basis. In other words, this paragraph is simply saying there's work to be done, and you have work that you are required to do during this course. And some people think they take a course, they get a grade, whether they do the work or not, and that's not true. Okay. Incomplete grades, no incomplete grades are given. The final statement here. Policies in the syllabus apply to each student equally. I started with this, I'm ending with this. This syllabus, the policies, procedures, the policies will apply to every student equally. I will not violate one policy for one student versus another. I will consider special circumstances, though. But standards will not be compromised, even if I consider special circumstances. They will not be compromised, and all work must be completed during the course. Okay, so within the beginning and ending dates of the course, everything has to be done, and I will not compromise the standards. For example, people submit it by email because their Canvas went down. Fine, that's fine. I understand special circumstances, and they have to submit it different places or something. I understand that, but I will not lower standards. Everything has to be done on time, and they have to be done with the adequate standards that everyone else has. Any action taken by me that might be taken as varying from these policies shall not be caused to eliminate or alter any student's responsibility to adhere to all the requirements of the course or to prevent my action in enforcing the policies in the course to every student. In other words, just because I help someone else out, for example, let's go back to the same example. I receive it by email, okay, that's fine. That I received it, I'll count it, fine. But everybody in the class now should not be saying, oh, we're not submitting it through Canvas anymore. Everybody's doing it with email. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not what that was meant for. It was a special circumstance, and I helped that one person out. If you have the same problem, I'll probably help you out. But don't consider that as being, okay, well, I'm going to submit everything by email now. If my email goes down, then I'm not submitting it, and I'm not going to get graded off on it. Okay, my point is that any action taken by me should not be taken as a justification for not doing the work. Okay. So that's the syllabus. Now, the classes start August 23rd, and on the first class, I'll be talking about the syllabus. I'll be doing this again in class, but also I'll do a course overview. I'm not doing that here, but in the class, I'll be overviewing the course, but also be do an overview of supply chains. There's a lot going on these last couple of years in supply chain, and there's been a lot of advancement in supply chain analysis, analytics, and supply chain management. So we're going to get into that in this course. So that's all I have for this lecture. Between now and the next time I see you, I want to urge everyone to be safe and take care.